Hello and welcome listening to 1A News. I am Akash. So after a night of dramatic last-minute hearing for Yakub Memon, the convict in 1993 Mumbai serial blast case, the hanging happened in the Nagpur Central Jail at 7:01 a.m. He was declared dead by the officials in the jail. And now, the biggest question that arises is that what now? What after the hanging? Now, there are speculations that there could be a possibility that Yakub Memon's brother Tiger Memon and close accomplice Dawood Ibrahim might retaliate after this whole incident. But let's be very honest about it. If anything would have been done, would could have been happening or could have been happened a year ago when he was convicted in 2013 when the Tada court gave him the death sentence, and in 2014 when President Pranab Mukherjee cancelled his mercy plea. So to talk to me more about this thing, that how the intelligence agencies and how the security agencies are looking after this whole incident has happened, is with me, Vicky Nanjappa, on the show. So Vicky, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Akash.
So, Vicky, a long night for everybody, I must say, that, Supreme Court hearing the last mercy petition, and then finally Yakub Memon was hanged. But now, the bigger question that come into existence is the security as far as the nation is concerned, because, everybody is skeptical about that how Dawood Ibrahim and Tiger Memon are going to react to this hanging.
Okay. See, Akash, there's one thing which I wanted to say is that, by around 2013, it was pretty much decided that Yakub Memon will be sentenced to death. And, after the verdict of the Tada court and the rejection of the mercy petition also, it was, pretty much decided. It's just that it's just got so much of attention lately. See, one thing is, once the date was announced, and then, that usually, it came as a little bit of a surprise to me that the date was announced and made public. That's one thing.
Right.
Like, in the case of, Kasab or an Afzal Guru, none of us knew what happened.
That's true.
That morning we got to know that they had been hanged. That's
Right.
one. So, it needs to be a case study that has to be considered, because there's too much of media there. That's one thing. But, the whole thing is that, see, all this drama took place because of the, 101 legal recourses that he decided to take: a second mercy, two curatives, one review, and then, one more mercy petition before the governor. So, that news, kept floating. But the fate of Yakub Memon was pretty much decided, almost a year back. That is one. So in terms of, there's one thing, Akash, the thing is, today, if you see, the security is really tight in all sensitive areas. Because, it's very unfortunate, that some political parties had to come forward and make it a religious issue. That is one. Okay, so that is one part of it. Now, where Dawood and Tiger Memon are concerned, the whole thing is, will, they try carrying out a retaliatory strike,
Right.
those kind of, aspects. See, we need to be on guard, but, I'm not, very sure that they would, really try and do this. Because, if you see, one of those files, relating to Yakub Memon, in fact, when he decided to come back to India here, in fact, Tiger Memon had told him, you
Right.
don't go back there. That's one. So, they also pretty much, knew what is going to be his fate, once he comes down here, that he's going to be convicted.
Right.
But there's one thing, Akash, the thing is, at least last night, yesterday, what Supreme Court has done basically is, ensure that it has upheld its own sanctity. That is one.
Right.
You can't go on meddling with orders, every now and then, because the mercy petition, basically, as we all know in death sentences, the mercy petition before the president is the final legal recourse. Unless there's a, terrible change in circumstance, in the prisoner's health, or, he's, say he's got cancer or he's anyway going to die, so then, there'll be a change circumstance. So that is one thing. But this definitely will, send across a very strong message to them. The thing is, it is definitely going to hurt them, be it Dawood or, or Tiger Memon, because he's after all Tiger Memon's brother, by blood they're related. It is going to hurt them. That is one thing. But how much of a difference would it make, to, their mentality and, whether they would change regarding it, I'm very highly doubtful, because I'm sure they have pretty much moved on from all this.
Right.
So another thing, which we can, talk about is, will these guys, ever be brought back here to India?
Yeah,
Because,
I think that is the next biggest question, that, because many of the people were saying that this was very harsher punishment for a person like Yakub Memon, because he was not the architect of this whole conspiracy. It was Dawood Ibrahim, and it was Tiger Memon. He was just taking out the orders. So now the biggest question is that would ever, that is the thing, that would ever Dawood Ibrahim and Tiger Memon be brought to books?
Yeah, that is also, a million-dollar question which everybody has been asking. See, it's beyond any doubt that, we all know where these people are. That's one thing. Now, the question is, how do you bring them back? That's one thing. Do we go in for a covert operation and, you bring them back? It's not all that easy, because, the thing is, a lot of, people within the intelligence and security agencies that you speak to. See, the thing is that Dawood Ibrahim is no ordinary citizen in Pakistan. He's not just a don or a criminal out there. He's been upgraded to, something called as a strategic asset for them, because, he does, his money is what finances a large part of all the terror operations. That's
right.
One. So, that is a million-dollar question. But, one thing, Akash, I want to tell you, I mean, a very shocking thing is that, when Tiger Memon basically, he left India and, he was in Dubai for some time before he moved into Pakistan.
Right.
There were various attempts made by various intelligence agencies, but for some strange reason, the government of the day never put him on a priority list. And that is very surprising, very, very surprising.
Right.
Whether they will do it 20, 25, 22 years later now, that is still a million-dollar question, actually.
Right. Well, let's hope that, somebody might wake up and think that, yes, if Yakub Memon was equally responsible, so was Tiger and Dawood Ibrahim, and they should be brought to books. Well, on that note, thank you very much, Vicky, for coming on the show.
Thanks, Akash.
Thank you. So that was Vicky Nanjappa with me on the show, discussing basically how the intelligence and the security has been beefed up, and what are the strategies. And then nextly, that do we expect a retaliation from Tiger Memon and Dawood Ibrahim in regard to this attack? Well, as far as now, there should be nothing to be worried about, because, of course, before Yakub came to India, he was told by Tiger not to do so, because he knew what the fate has in store for him. Well, that's all for now, but for more news and updates, log on to our YouTube channel, www.youtube.com/oneindianews.